Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So if you're on the lookout for a premium 5-seater luxury mid-size SUV, then this Lexus RX 350 might be the option for you. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the interiors, the exteriors, and we'll be going on a short drive in this Lexus RX 350. Before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel and also make sure to press the bell icon so that you never miss any video updates from my channel. So let's begin from the front. So you get this massive signature Lexus grille, which is almost like curved in two directions, and then this chrome surround around the grille. Also there is one of the cameras from the 360-degree cameras that is mounted out here, and then you get the signature DRLs in the headlight cluster, and also the headlight cluster is an LED headlight cluster, and you get these three beautiful looking LEDs inside them. They look so good, the entire headlight cluster. At the bottom you will find this plastic trim which is just there, and it's just the blacked out plastic which kind of looks all right. And at the bottom you would see a fog lamp, and there are cornering lights on the side, so this is also an LED fog lamp. Now on the sides you get 20-inch aluminum rims and this skirting which is again black so that you don't damage your side fender. And also at the bottom there are more skirtings, and then there is also a chrome strip. Also there are thick shoulder lines that you see that goes all the way till the back, like very evident one out here, and then some subtle ones at the bottom that goes, which makes this car look super curvy from the side. These mirrors are power foldable, they have blind spot warning, they are power adjustable, and they have this chrome touch on them as well. There is also a chrome surround around this whole window. Also it goes all the way till the back, and then you get smart keyless entry doors, and there is also a Lexus logo that lightens up on the door frame. Also these doors are super huge, they cover all the way till the bottom of the frame so that the frames don't get dirty. You also get the silver roof rails on top, and the skirtings also continue till the back. At the bottom again it goes, and then these rear tail lights have these two sort of designs. Again, that is all done so that it cuts the airflow and then doesn't create the whistling sound around it's all for the aerodynamic purpose. Now in the back you get LED tail light cluster, but they have this L shaped inside them, which is like a signature Lexus L letter that they've inscribed inside these lights, and they glow. Looks really beautiful at night. And then you get the Lexus badging out here, the RX 350, and also a scruff plate which is aluminium so that you don't damage your bumper. Although this plate actually just starts from in between and then just ends way before the bumper, and so it looks kind of in between. At the bottom you get this plastic trim and this silver color plate at the bottom, and dual exhaust, and they have this chrome surround, and they have some gap in between them, the actual tips and the surround. Then you get these reflectors at the bottom. Now in terms of the visibility, it's actually pretty good even though the roof line is sloping, and then you also get this spoiler which hangs all the way from the back of the car. In terms of the boot space now, so you can also wave your leg at the bottom, and then you can open the tailgate, so if you have shopping bags in your hand. So now in this configuration you can put 539 liters of boot space inside that you get, and it's a very flat one, so it's easier to put your luggage in and out. There are more scruff plates out here, although the boot is actually pretty raised, so you really have to lift your luggage and then put it in. Now there's also this boot separator out here which you can remove, but there is no place to put that back in anywhere under the boot space somewhere, so it's always going to be lingering around in your boot space. So these seats are foldable in a ratio of 60:40, and the buttons are given out here to make it easy. So you just press the buttons and both these seats would go down, although it would take a little while for them to go down. So when these seats are folded down, but they're not exactly flat, so they are still at a little bit of an inclination, but nonetheless when you have these folded down you get 1593 liters of boot space, which is pretty huge for this car, which is just a 5-seater. You also get more tie points out here for your shopping bags, and also there are a couple of boot lights and also a 120-watt power socket in the back. There's also a spare wheel provided underneath and some more storage, and also the boot opening is quite big, so it's easy, and also it's even, so your loading area is pretty even that way. Now when it comes to luxury and choice of material, Lexus has went all out in making sure that this car is the ultimate offering in their lineup. So to start off with, you get soft touch plastic on the dashboard and then also on the door cards, and then you get this off-white leathers on the door cards, and pretty much everywhere that you see, wherever the touch points are there, they've covered it with that, along with this orange stitching. And also even on the dashboard on the side, even there also they've given soft touch. So in terms of the quality of materials, they have been like all out, giving you everything. Also you get this wooden insert on the door, laminated ones, even out here on the center console. So everything in terms of the choice of quality, even on this side frame, soft suede type of material that they've used. So it's all like very, very good. Now coming to the dashboard, in the dashboard there is a 4.2 inch multi-color screen. Now that screen is actually showing you all the information about your trip, your fuel consumption, your range, your consumption after the fuel, your eco indicator, and then the tire pressure, and then a blank screen, and also which drive is on, which wheels are being powered on your screen, something similar to what Toyotas have. And also there is a compass, there is the menus you can scroll, there is also media, there is also other information like your cruise control, your lane assist, all of that is on. Or then you can go into finer settings and change the heads-up display that this car gets. In the heads-up display is very, very clear and big, bright, and it shows so much of information from your lane to your adaptive cruise control, and also the gear you are in. All of that information along with the compass, all of that is displayed out here. You can also adjust it. Now there are two odometer and a speedometer on the dashboard, but they have this another sort of cutout for the speed, and that looks a little bit off. Instead it was better if the whole thing was a single piece, because this looks like a cutout which has been placed on top of it. Now coming to the steering wheel has half sort of plastic bit, shiny one on top, and on the sides you get the leather stitch steering wheel, which is quite big, and also you get a thumb support, and this is electronically adjustable tilt and telescopic, so you can do that. Now on your right side you would get the controls for your center multiple information display, which is out here, and you can control using that from the right side. At the bottom there is a adaptive cruise control stick that you can use, and the buttons for the distance are mounted on the steering wheel itself. On the left side you would find all the infotainment controls and your communication controls, and there's also a paddle shift at the back. Now in terms of the AC controls, Lexus has given the physical controls out here along with the controls inside the infotainment screen that you can use, so you can choose which one to use. But very easy, straightforward buttons are given out here, and it's a dual zone climate control systems that you can use. And also there are ventilated seat options which are at the bottom. So in terms of the buttons, they are all over just placed around on the center console. I wish they were just clubbed together for some reason, but they're just all over the place in the center dashboard. Also the infotainment screen is a 12.3 inch infotainment screen, which is so good, and I say that because it looks enormous first of all, but it also looks very elegant and very crystal clear when you view it. And the best bit is that Lexus has included a touchscreen on this one, so at least that's a good thing, and this is what this Lexus system needed, the touch screen. So to start off with, also there is a trackpad which has been given out here in case you still wish or you still miss that trackpad, then they've given that also, so you can either use that or this. Although the buttons for the menu and the navigation are all here, so you have to use them only in order to access the different menus from the infotainment screen, so it's still connected with the trackpad itself. So you have the navigation system, which is a 3D navigation system. Now in terms of the connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using the Bluetooth, the USB. There is also Miracast app, there is also Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and also an aux with which you can connect the music system. There is also a DVD disc player that has been given out here, which sits right above the air conditioning system. And also there is a rear entertainment on this one, because this Lexus RX 350 is a platinum version, so it comes with two screens in the rear for the rear passenger for the entertainment that you can switch out on from here, from this infotainment screen. And there are headphones and Bluetooth and all of that headphones that you can connect from the system in the back. So that is operated from here, from the infotainment screen. The more finer menus are your phone options, apps, and info, where it will show you the information about the car, the trip information, the refueling information, how much you've been doing, your fuel consumption. Then there is an elaborate setting called as the setup. So I'll be doing a detailed video on how to use the infotainment system on this Lexus, which will be coming out after this video, so you make sure to check that video out also. Now when it comes to the sound, this is where the Lexus RX 350 is super good, because this RX 350 comes with 15 speaker Mark Levinson sound system. There's also a subwoofer in the back. It sounds incredible. Every single sound is audible, like every tiny sound is just audible when you are driving, and it just is amazing. You really have to feel the sound inside to see it, and nothing vibrates, and that's the best bit, because of the build quality. Now this infotainment system is a dual screen that can be used on it, so you can use on your right side some apps, and on the left side the main infotainment screen features that you can use. So on the right side there are some straightforward options like your air conditioning controls, your fuel consumption, your the various media that is connected, and also the navigation system. So you can choose to have that and other options on the other screen. And if you don't want, there is an option given out here. You press that button on the screen and you can use the full screen, but I prefer to use the full screen instead of both the screens. Now coming to the storage, again there is one clever thing that Lexus has done, and that is in the door cards you get this storage out here which is extendable. So you just pull it and then it extends itself to have a lot of storage space in the door cards. And then there are two cup holders out here. There's also a wireless charger given out here, or you can just use it to store the phone. There's also another slot that has been given to dedicated one to put your phones when they are charging. And also there is a big center console out here, storage out here, in which you can put more stuff. There is also a glove box out here. So in terms of the power plugs and the charging options, you get two USB ports out here in the center console, and also 120-watt power socket out here. There are two more USB ports out here in the center armrest, and also an aux port, and also 120-watt power socket. There are two more USB plugs in the back also. So this car has a lot of charging plugs, 6 charging plugs for 5 maximum people sitting in the car. Anyways, that is pretty good nonetheless. Now there is one particular thing about the air conditioning vent. So on the extreme right hand they have used a different kind of vent, and the usual vents, the 3 vents which are provided, are just a very simplistic one. Now I wish they had made something similar to the vents on the other side, which is on the right side, because it actually looks pretty cool, those vents. Like they would actually complete the look of the dashboard. Also the infotainment screen has controls for the volume and the tuner knob that have been given on the dashboard itself, and also there are more buttons for your radio, media and all. Although the plastic on it that is used is really out of place, it just doesn't seem to belong to this dashboard itself. So something may be worked out on that. And then you get the famous Lexus clock that you get in pretty much every Lexus car. Now you get a panoramic sunroof in this car, which is pretty huge, but the actual panoramic sunroof that opens, the sunroof that opens, is actually pretty small. I wish it was opening a little bit further, and also there is a UV protection layer that you can switch on. It's electronically doable, so there is a button given out here on the roof, so you can press that and then it would not let the UV light penetrate, but it will become like a shaded glass on top, which is pretty cool. Now coming to the seats, these seats are extremely comfortable, because first of all they come in this semi-aniline leather, which is perforated seats, and they are ventilated also. So you can press the buttons out here given in the center dashboard. You can press them and switch on the cooling seats, and they are so comfortable. It's pretty much like your couches at home. It's that comfortable, and they are big, solid. And also the driver seat is 10-way electronically adjustable, and also there is an extension that you can extend the seat, but that actually is like a curve. So it's not like an extension, but it's like a curve inside the seat. So that curve opens up and extends it under your thigh. But it is such a good thing because during longer journeys it's actually pretty comfortable for long cruising. And there is also 4-way lumbar support, but in the passenger seat it's only 10-way electronically adjustable. They also have the extendable leg support for their seat as well. Well, the luxury continues even for the rear passenger. Again, you get this off-white leather, semi-aniline leather seats out here along with this orange stitching. These seats are slidable, so you can slide them ahead. So if you want more room for the boot, then you can do that also. And they are electronically adjustable, so if you want the support to go back or recline them, you can do both of them. The door cards have the soft touch materials and this wooden insert in them, and you can see there is so much of leg room and also quite a bit of headroom, although the headroom is something which may be a little bit of a problem if you are above 6 feet, so because of the sloping roofline, but nonetheless there is ample of leg space for sure. And you can slide your legs under the seats, although not much of room under the seats because of so much of electronics that has been packed into the seat. That is why there is no room left under the seat to slide your leg. But you also get blinders out here in the rear door card. There are two AC vents out here which are, you can control the flow of the air from the vents, and there are also more ports at the bottom for these two massive screens. Now these screens are actually 11.3 inch screens because they are pretty solid big ones, and they are like built completely into the seat, so they are quite good and they are actually pretty clear also. Now those controls for the screens are on both the sides. There's a volume knob and also the earplugs that you can plug in. There is also an HDMI port that has been given in the back, and then two USB ports at the bottom. Also notice that there is no tunnel out here, although this car is an all-wheel drive, but there is no tunnel at all. It's just flat, so which is why sitting the middle row of the middle passenger is actually going to be pretty comfortable, and also not much of a hump in the back also. But there's also, in case you're not going to use the middle seat, you can drop it down and there is a handrest out here, and you press this button and two cup holders elegantly come out to in front of you. And also there is some more storage out here in the back, but it's a small one, but it's a spring loaded door, this flap which has been given. So if I leave it, yeah, it just collapses, so it just doesn't stay open, so you really have to hold this and then put something and then leave it. But when you're not going to use it and there are 3 passengers in the back, you can easily sit 3 people in the back. So this Lexus RX 350 Platinum comes with a 3.5 liter V6 petrol engine that produces 296 brake horsepower and 370 Newton meters of torque, and this engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, which is pretty smooth. Now this combination gives you an fuel economy of anywhere between 8.5 to 9, which is pretty good for a car that weighs 1.9 tons. Actually, to be precise, it's 1990 kilograms, so it is quite a heavy car. And coming to the engine response, now the engine is actually pretty sweet, although the only thing which I have a complaint is that the car lacks a bit of an acceleration. When you try to press the throttle, see, it takes some time. Although this car also comes with different modes like the normal, eco and the sport plus. So if I put the car in the sport plus mode, things improve a little bit. The throttle response improves. The sound is nothing, because I'll come to that point also, but it just improves, sharpens the change of gears. It also it uses pretty much the entire rev line, so all of that. But there's not much in terms of the actual sport feeling that you would get, so it's alright. I mean, the comfortable mode is pretty good for a family SUV. Coming to the steering wheel, that is something which is not really precise. I'll be straightforward with you. So it's actually a little lazy when you're turning it around. I get it because the car is actually pretty heavy, but it's nonetheless, it's quite alright, but there is quite a bit of feedback from the steering system. That is what I would say. Although it's an electronic steering, yet it's got pretty good feedback from the system, and that is what you need from the steering system, especially at the highways, because that is what connects you with the car. Now, suspension is something I really want to dive in, because that is one excellent bit on this car. So the RX 350 irons out every single bump on the road. So it's got the strut setup in the front, and in the back again it's got the strut, but it's also got a stabilizer in the back, but it just works like a gem. A demonstration that I will show you with this glass of water. Now I'm going to be holding this glass for as long as I can, and I'm also going to be turning the car, and if you see, it's not even spilling, it's not even trying to, so there's not much of vibration. Now it's not that I'm not going to accelerate, I'm going to full on accelerate, you can see that, and it's so comfortable. Like, this glass of water is not even moving that way. It's like, okay, the water is sort of bobbing around inside, but it's still being very, very stable. Like, let me drink because it's too hot out here. Yes, so the suspension is on the softer end, but that has just one drawback, and that is it's got a bit of a roll. So the car will take a little bit to shift its weight from one end to the other when you're trying to turn around, because there's a bit of a roll. But I have no complaints in terms of the noise and the vibration, which is the NVH. Again, Lexus has done a fantastic job with that also, because it is so quiet. It is literally quiet. I can actually whisper in this car and everyone can hear it. Even though if you are going at say 120, 140, this car will remain very quiet, and it's all to do with the build quality. It's just is so nicely made, and which is the reason even the engine, you can't hear actually the engine from inside. It's that quiet out here. It's like the Rolls Royce in the SUV world, the mid-size SUV world. Now, in terms of the braking action, the Lexus RX 350 brakes quite well, and because it's a 1.9 ton car, near 2 ton car, that is a pretty assuring thing. Coming to the safety system, Lexus has also made sure that you are safe while you are cruising around in comfort. So you get 6 airbags, 2 in the front for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags in the front and also in the back. Then there are 2 side airbags for the driver and the passenger. There is traction control, there is vehicle stability, there is also child ISOFIX points, there is also ABS, there is EBD, there is also a 360-degree camera system on this one, and the output from that is pretty amazing because the screen is so good. So the output is also, and also it's like a selective, so you can select whichever view you want from the 360-degree camera, and then you can choose to view that. So in terms of the safety system, there's also a whiplash system. So Lexus has gone all the way, to give you the safest experience also while cruising around in comfort. So in terms of the price, this particular Lexus model, which is the platinum one, comes at 285,000 dirhams, and there's another lower version, which is the prestige version, which comes at 265,000 dirhams. When you're tired, trust me, this is the car you want to be in. It is quiet, it is got like 15 speaker music system, so you can chill in this car. And also, if you don't want to do that, then you can just cruise home in quiet, or also you can go to office before having like a relaxed mindset, and then enter in the office, smash your day, and then go back again. So if you're looking for something comfortable, something luxurious, something really worth the price, then I would seriously advise you to consider this car and at least have a test drive and check it out for yourself. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you've liked it, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.